Early this week, I think on Monday, a story was broken by a correspondent of Man United that no player is immune for sale at Man United apart from Alejandro Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo and Rasmus Højlund. That story went ahead, obviously shake tables, and everyone was like, even Rashford, even Onana, even Lisandro Martinez, even Anthony, even Luke Shaw, name it. Looks like Ineos was like serious, and they're making an open statement to every player of Man United that you are really gonna leave. And people are like, even Bruno Fernandes, who is really gonna make 30 years of age? Alright. And finally, Bruno Fernandes has come out and really spoken about Man United putting out all their players, if at all a suitable bid comes in through, for sale. He has spoken out on his reason for really staying or not staying at Man United in what we're going to hit to call Bruno Fernandes United departure stance. He has gone ahead to obviously put this to the world, and we are going to come in here and obviously see what we have to say about and what he has to say about this story. Good evening, my mates. Hope you're really having fun wherever you are. This is Rokan David onto the United Matters channel, and hope you guys are really having fun. And here we come in please to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as all this is concerned. And this is Bruno Fernandes, and we are talking strictly to Bruno Fernandes. He was talking to Design Portugal, and he had lots of things to say. Let's see close to 200 likes. Smash this video and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 17,200 subscribers onto this YouTube channel, strictly doing Man United content only, right? So, the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Now, Bruno Fernandes was asked on to potentially leaving Man United, and his reply was, it doesn't just depend on me, does it? A player always has to want to be here, but at the same time, you have to want him to stay. At the moment, I feel there is that on both sides. If you want me to be very honest, if I have to think about not continuing in the Premier League, it won't be until after the Euros. Now, Bruno is like, if we are to talk about my future at Man United, it will be after the Euros. And we all know that he left us very hanging. That for a player wanting to stay is not enough. The team might be wanting him to stay. And with the situation happening now at the club of Man United, that only 3 players are immune to obviously exiting Man United, it plays into a better position of us on how these players are really going to behave, especially those that expected that are really untouchable. And now we've gone ahead obviously find out that no player at Man United is untouchable apart from that trio of Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo. Only 3 players are immune, and it has gone ahead obviously give us a very good goal, and we really have to ask ourselves what exactly is going to be there. But for Bruno Fernandes, he's like, all right, if United wants me to go, I'll go. So it's like he's saying it depends on Man United. For me, I want to stay, but if at all the club doesn't want me to stay, I'll obviously have to go. And I tell you, there are players we should really show the exit door at the club of Man United. I know most of you love Bruno Fernandes. You've gonna hate to love him, but I tell you, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, all those should find themselves into the exit door of Man United this summer. They can't really come out really offer us what we want, because Bruno came in here in 2020, I think around the 26th of June, was it sort of January, was it 30th? He came in through, and then he did his medicals, and I think the deal was confirmed towards the end of the month of January, right? That's when the deal was confirmed in 2020. Now, he has been here for 4 years, and for me, I think in all the systems that we're going to have to play into, there is one thing that is really lacking. I tell you, he doesn't really do the needful as needed to the club. When he does one assist, just know he has gone ahead to misfire out on like 3 or 4 He doesn't give us the control of the game. He doesn't keep his positional discipline in the middle of the park. He's always running to the outright right and left. That's why I've always gone ahead to come and criticize him. I think we need a better number 10. I tell you this, Man United needs a better number 10 to obviously do that role that Bruno Fernandes is really doing into that time. And for me, if United are willing to sell him and really get in some huge money to get in other players, I'll be 100% okay with it. If the team is saying the untouchables are Rasmus Højlund, Kobe Mainoo, and Garnacho, I really support them, but I think the likes of Dalot should be added on the list. Cambuala, Lisandro Martinez, you look at the likes of Amad Diallo, you get such players, But the fact is, Bruno Fernandes is not going to be moved on. That is it. Because if you move him on, that will call in for you getting in very, 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 very many players in. And all you need is to see to it that you sign in. We can only sign in like 5 or 6. You can't really just go ahead and really tear down that squad. I think the likes of Maguire, Lindelof, Varane, Bissaka, Casemiro, Scott McTominay, you can easily move those out easily and get them out of the team. But there is the spine that you have to keep, you have to keep that spine, and you keep that spine, a lot will obviously come up into the right ways for them to obviously leave, because you can't keep these players when they're really earning a lot of money. I think you'd rather bring in players who earn 15, who earn £150,000 a week, That's what Man City used to do. Bernardo Silva had just gone ahead to see to it that his contract was extended, I think, to £200,000 a week. But ever since he came in through at Man City, was earning £150,000 a week. Now, at Man United, we're having very many players who have been earning more than him, but they've been underperforming. So, for a club like Man United, we need to obviously move on players, however much they are looking promising, but they're into their final bend of their careers, and we should get in players who are really more hungry. But I don't see him being moved on, though I would gonna hate to love it when he's being moved on. So that's Bruno Fernandes for you on the departure of Man United. So he also had the following to say in this interview, that I'm not thinking too much about the future, not least because obviously the season hasn't been at the level I would hoped for, either individually or collectively so far. Obviously, this season has been abysmal for the club of Man United, total first for me, and if at all you really know exactly what it means to play at Man United and what the delivery is supposed to be, obviously this season has been off. It has been totally off, and all players should be here trying to really find a solution on what has been the problem. You understand? Because if you lose to teams like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, that's okay. Aston Villa's, but we've gone ahead to beat those teams like Aston Villa. We've gone ahead to beat Liverpool sometimes, but we've gone ahead to lose to teams that we are supposed to beat even when we're having injuries. That's where the misunderstanding comes in, through that even with teams we're supposed to win, when we are not having injuries, we fail to win them. That is where the huge question marks comes in through on these players. And most of the times we've gone ahead to obviously get the lead, but the lead has not gone ahead to obviously pay off the best of a result. And it really, really, really baffles my mind. It baffles my mind on several occasions on as to what these players are always thinking when they're really doing that. If you lose to Man City, no one will obviously go out and really blame you on having injuries. It will sound a very good reason. But when you lose to a team like Man City, so when you lose to a team like Fulham, you draw with teams like Burnley, that really sounds huge questions on as to why these players are really doing the right job, because you get chances, don't kill them off, and your opponent gets one and kills it off. So that is really the ugly bit of that, and these players should really be pondering about why they've gone ahead to have such an ugly season. Then we go to Bruno Fernandes. Again was asked and said we would still end the season by winning the Emirates Cup. After that, we have a very important Euros coming up. Now, talking of the Emirates Cup, FA, we are playing Man City. I don't know why Bruno Fernandes is even tying so much on himself onto that trophy, because I don't see us going into that final when we are strong enough. Unless otherwise, we are having Lisandro Martinez at the back and Rafael Varane with Luke Shaw back as the left back and Dalot as the right back. Casemiro in the midfield alongside Kobe Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes ahead of them, then Garnacho. For Rashford, I wouldn't like him to be part of this game, though he's back in training, but it will depend on what exactly our players will be willing to offer on the day. But if we don't have such a lineup, I don't think that we can go toe-to-toe with Man City. But if we really put in such a shift, we can go toe-to-toe with Man City, because those players, that lineup can obviously edge Man City, because when you look at how we played for them for 56 minutes before they went ahead to obviously score against us, we had a very good goal that side, and we enjoyed those minutes. We never had did we have Casemiro? I think we never had Lisandro Martinez, we never had Luke Shaw, no Rasmus Højlund. You get? We missed out on a couple of players that would have gone ahead to determine that game. So we wait and see how that pans out. But it can obviously go in our favor if at all we are really having a very good squad that can really compete with Man City. On the side of the Euros, I think Portugal really have a chance. Portugal, for me, are my favorites. Portugal, England, France are my favorites to obviously come in through and really win this game. These Euros. Those three teams, plus Germany, who are the hosts, because you cannot really rule out hosts like Germany, because when you look at Nagelsmann, looks like he's going to have to find a team that can obviously do the needful to obviously win this game. Something that very many managers have gone ahead obviously coming through and obviously failed to really. Even this guy called Hans Flick, failed. But Nagelsmann looks like he's going to obviously find a very good team, and even the Football Federation of Germany is willing to offer him a new contract to obviously stay until 2026. That is it. So for that, Portugal is really a very good team. They're really having good players that can obviously compete with any team around the world and really beat them. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But I call upon for your reactions into your comment section about Bruno Fernandes breaking silence on his United departure. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rock and Heavy is my name. One video so far and more are yet to come. Jadon Sancho is really looking good for the first 15 minutes have been played into this game as Dortmund hosts PSG in the Champions League, and he's really looking quite good. For me, as a person who believes that he should be sold, and after selling him, we should be really given money to obviously see to it that we really get in other players. I'm really excited that teams are going to come in with money on the table to obviously sign this Jadon Sancho guy. I sign out. Bye-bye.